Summer of 2022, Graham and I embarked on an epic road trip to South Dakota. We had a fabulous time. Unfortunately, we've lost a lot of that footage, but we've decided to piece together what we have and recapture some of those memories. What you're about to see is our first travel day and our first overnight stop at Indian Cave State Park in Nebraska. It was a great little park. Watch to the end to find out. Good morning from Indian Cave State Park.
Nebraska.
Near Shubert, Nebraska. It's our overnight stay on our way to Badlands, Black Hills area of South Dakota.
Got it.
It's our summer 22 road trip. Hopefully we fare a little bit better than we did summer of 21. So if you haven't seen how that played out, I'll post a link. Let's talk about our travel day yesterday.
It went fine.
It went fine. I mean, overall, there weren't any major catastrophes, so that's a good thing. Our son Tony and his girlfriend Elena are traveling with us again this summer. We didn't scare them off last year. The vehicle that we gave them to use,
It's usually, there's no,
we haven't had any issues
There's
out
no
of
issues with
it.
that
We've
vehicle.
had things fixed on it before this trip. You know, we've had tires changed and whatever. Yesterday, we started having problems with the air conditioner. It sort of kicks on, kicks off. So we're not sure what that's about, but they spent an hour driving in 95-degree heat without AC. All I can say is better them than us.
yeah.
Let's see, a bird hit our windshield, which wouldn't be significant except that a few months ago on a school field trip, a turkey flew in front of our school bus, cracking the windshield. Demolished it. I was covered in glass particles. It was very traumatic. So when this bird hit our windshield yesterday, right above my head, I was triggered. Just say, I was triggered.
Yeah, she was.
Probably the worst thing that happened was after we got everything loaded up, I checked my checklist, checked every list I had made. We get 3 hours away from home, and Graham remembers that he did not pack the chargers for our e-bikes.
That's not how I said it.
No, it contained a lot more expletives.
Yeah.
So we were in panic mode. Like, what the heck? We've packed these bikes. We've got this 2-week-long trip planned. What are we going to do? So I jump on the electric bikes owners group on Facebook. And I'm like, does anybody know of any place that sells these things? Like around the Kansas City area, Omaha, Nebraska, Sioux Falls. I ended up calling Electric, and apparently they don't have vendors. They just sell straight from the company. So we were beside ourselves, didn't know what to do. But somebody had responded to my post on Facebook and said, can someone in your family FedEx you one? Which turned out to be the solution that we used. And I don't know that we would have come up with that on our own because we were in panic mode.
Yeah.
So thank you to the person that posted that. So our daughter was at the house this weekend. So she's FedExing us one to the campground that we'll be in a few days. I called that campground. They do accept FedEx packages for campers. They said no problem. So that's all good. So that worked out.
I'm an idiot.
Besides that, it was fine. It was incredibly hot travel day yesterday, but we had an hour to kill. So we went to St. Joseph, Missouri, home of the Pony Express, went to the Visitor Center and got a really good recommendation from the lady there about going to the Pony Express Museum. She gave us directions, pointed us to a 2-for-1 coupon for the museum entry, and we went. I think we all
That was
enjoyed
probably
it.
one of the better museums I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's a small one, but it's really well done, and it's really informative and entertaining.
It's actually on the site of the stables where they started the very first Pony Express.
Yeah.
They've actually got inside, behind the stable doors, they've actually got the rider ready to go.
Like
You know,
the first rider out,
Yeah.
right? So you learned about who the first rider was, and there was some controversy when they were doing historical research to find out who this person was. But it was some 19-year-old boy,
Yeah.
which is really crazy to think about. Pony Express only lasted 18 months. It was the venture of these three entrepreneurs that were involved in like Oregon Trail passage stuff.
It was just time wrong. It was at the start of the telegraph system as well, so telegraph kind of took over.
But they said they could get a letter across the country in 10 days, which is not much longer than what it would take today, because I just recently had something mailed from a town that was like 30 minutes away, and it took 5 days to get to me. So anyway, and we found out that there were artifacts from the Pony Express Museum that were taken along with the 1985 Discovery space shuttle.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So we learned a lot.
It's well worth a visit if you're in that area.
Mm-hmm.
St. Joseph, Missouri.
Stop by the visitor center.
And they've got the house there where Jesse James was killed as well, so you can go and see that museum.
That's another museum. We did not go into that museum because we were ready to get on our way. But next time.
A good time to go is Saturday afternoon because it's downtown in kind of the industrial side of St. Joseph, and Saturday afternoon they're all locked up. So it's nice and quiet.
There's a whole historic district down there to tour if you're interested. Right on the Missouri River. Right, out exploring Indian Cave State Park, and on their little drive through the park, the first thing you come to is this historic cemetery.
Cemetery of St. Darrelling.
First burial was in 1858 to Joseph Darwin himself. A large circle on the southeastern corner is his gravesite. He was buried astride his horse while a bridle and saddle sat in the notch of a tree to mark this spot for many years. Whoa! This follows the belief that braves were to use their horse spirit to ride to heaven. So did they kill the horse?
Guess so.
Ooh. This park has a public boat ramp. There are over 22 miles, there's 22 miles of trails in this park, and there's hiking, camping scattered throughout. And there's horseback riding, there's horse camping, but you can also pay the $25 and just go on a guided horseback ride. There's disc golf and horseshoes, and you can they'll loan you the equipment for that. They have living history demonstrations at the historic village on the weekends through the summer. They show a weekly movie at the amphitheater, and I don't know, this park is really impressive. There's an actual cave on site, but it's closed right now. I guess they're repairing some damage. And we're looking at the Missouri River. Yeah, wouldn't have to paddle much on that. Scary looking. So they have this scenic drive that brings you down to this historic area. There's an old town site, a schoolhouse. So we're at the Living History Log Cabin. The road here is one way and it's very tight.
Yeah, and there's curbstones on each side.
Yes, so definitely passenger vehicle only through there. The little archery sites on this loop and the trail rides that you can purchase. Yeah, they've had some.
That's a log flat.
They've had some water through here, haven't they? Probably that rain that moved through last week, where all that, where Yellowstone flooded and everything.
Maybe.
So I guess on Saturdays they have living history things going on here. So there's soap making, some old farm implements. Oh, there's a trailhead.
Candle dipping.
Candle dipping. Yeah. There's an old well pump. Log cabin. What is that?
Well, it looks like an old drill press.
Chicago Heights, Illinois, number 18, it says.
Trapper's cabin.
Is that door open? No, it's locked up, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we're about to walk up to the old town of St. Darwin. There is a structure right there. First up, of course, is the schoolhouse, and there's a bug trying to bite Graham. Do you dare ring the bell?
No.
Oh, it's open. Aww.
Oh, it smells like a schoolhouse.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Musty.
Wood polish.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that old map. If you don't know me, I teach history, so I am all about this kind of stuff. Look at those old maps. Cool. Here are some old primers. The complete debater. Look, there's some rulers. I bet somebody got their hands smacked with those at one point.
Yep.
I don't know how old those are, but.
I'm going to show my age now and say I used to use that type of pen.
That type of
When I
pen?
was in primary school. Yeah.
Well, the inkwell pen?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
You
are old.
Cartridge pens.
You are old.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a picture of the
Yeah.
school. I like how they have this modern playground equipment outside of it. Pretty cute. I gotta do it. Oh. When in Rome and all that. Broom maker. Oh God, are there people here? Living history. Well, it says Saturday to Sunday, 9 to 4. Ooh. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
All right.
How many times a day do you get to hear that school bell?
Yeah, well, that valve off an old steam engine.
Oh yeah.
Well, most whole country schools couldn't afford it.
Yeah. These springs. Look at all this.
There you go.
Look at that. So well, you have a good day.
You too.
There's the old outhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't know anybody was in this building. I may not have rung the bell. There's an observation deck. It's not really clearly marked on the map that you pick up
yeah,
from the front.
The map is too confusing.
Yeah, the map is a little off. But if you're on the historic loop, you will come to this point. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
And they have another selfie station. This is the second selfie station we've seen at this park, which is really pretty cool. Lewis and Clark expedition information, which Graham and I have a dream of one day doing the Lewis and Clark route all the way across the states. So we may be here again one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is definitely a pretty shot of the Missouri River. It's prettier from a distance than it is up close, like most big rivers are. This park is really quite beautiful. And I think it's probably a little hidden gem because it's kind of remote. But so far, Nebraska State Parks, I'm pretty impressed.